Time for another Intel motherboard. This is the ROG Strix Z890-A from ASUS. And I think this is the first almost all-white motherboard from ASUS that I have shown on this channel. I am not familiar with the -A series of boards, but I think this is the first almost fully white board from ASUS like the X870-A. It actually is a mix of white, grey, silver and black. The boards before that are more of a mix of black and silver grey. Well, don't forget about the artwork. ASUS always includes wonderful art on the M.2 and I/O area. The Strix logo here should glow and change colors. Also, do not neglect the artwork at the back. This part is always forgotten when the board goes into a case. Do check out the eye and the various text and pixel art. It really is a complete package. Anyway, this Z890-A is kinda more in line with the older Z790 boards in terms of USB ports and expansion slots. It is more sane, at least for USB, compared to the higher-end Z890 boards. So, as a Z890 board, you will get your 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and for the more sane part, 5 Type-A 10GB ports, one of which is used to flash your BIOS, and a Type-C which is also 10 gigs. There are 2 more 5GB ports, the ones in blue. And for the front, there's the standard front Type-C 20 gigs with power delivery, just 1 USB 5 gigs and 2 USB 2. But hey, because of fewer USB, ASUS gives you a DP port. Yes! So I guess DP is gonna be out of trend soon. And as for the other ports, there's the standard HDMI, the clear CMOS and BIOS flashback buttons, a 2.5GB Ethernet port, the Wi-Fi 7 connectors for the easy Wi-Fi antenna, and the audio ports. Okay, we are done with the back, so let's go on to the main area. Okay, starting with the socket, this is the new LGA1851 socket for Intel's Core Ultra Series 2 CPUs like the 265K and the 285K. Flanking it are the MOSFETs and chokes, giving you the 16+2+1+2 power stages together with the VRM heatsinks and the I/O area. There are 4 RAM slots, which allows you to put up to 192 gigs of DDR5 RAM. That's 4 sticks of 48 gigs each. And these RAM slots, like the Z90 Carbon, also support the upcoming CUDIM modules. The headers and connectors are also pretty standard, though I was kind of surprised at the lack of a Q-code LED for this motherboard. I thought it would be a norm for a motherboard of this tier, so you have to search higher in this motherboard tier if you want the Q-code LED. But I have to point out about how organized the connectors are. The CPU headers, together with the pump and the overvoltage, are on the top right. The 3 ARGB are at the bottom left, and all 5 fan headers are also at the bottom. Well, you may or may not like it for cable management. The advantage here being that you always know where the headers are and you don't have to keep searching for them. Having all the cables in one area also makes your PC look very neat. That said, if your exhaust fan and CPU cooler's ARGB are long enough to reach the bottom, it should not be an issue. However, if they are not, you'll have to figure out how to bring all these leads to plug at the bottom. Can I say that -A boards for both Z890 and X870 are entry-level boards for the high-end ROG Strix? Because in lieu of less USB ports, you still get the same 2 PCIe slots. The top one with the double armor is 5.0x16 and the bottom one is 4.0x16. There's quite a good amount of space between the 2 slots, so your big 3.5 slot plus GPU will sit comfortably on the first slot. For the bottom slot, I guess you can put a Thunderbolt card, a capture card, or a Gen 4 M.2 expansion card. And talking about M.2, this board comes with 5 of them. The 4 slots here are 4.0x4 and the top one is 5.0x4. Let me first remove the 2 heat shields. And you can see that these 2 slots support the standard 2280 SSDs. Slots 4 and 5 accept the longer and shorter variants respectively. These are ASUS's new locking thingies, the Q-Latch 2.0. To install your SSD, plug it into the M.2 slot and press down until you feel a click on the latch. Your SSD is installed. And as for the Gen 5 one, this is another of ASUS's fancy M.2 heat shields. Unlike the X870-E that I last reviewed, instead of the button press, you pull this lever down and the entire heatsink comes off. Do remove the film from the thermal pads at the bottom and on the heatsinks first. To install the SSD, plug it into the slot, pull the slide back and lock it into position. To put back the heatsink, slide it in, press down and lock the lever back into place. Simple as that. And lastly, don't forget about the 4 SATA ports. I'm very proud to tell you that whatever magic that you saw on the X8 board, the X870-E has now also moved on to this Z890-A. So ASUS brought all of their magic weapons onto the AMD and now the Intel boards. I have shown you the M.2 magic, so of course we're going to talk about the PCIe magic on this Z890-A. So this is what ASUS calls the PCIe Easy Q release slot thingy. So similar to the AMD boards, there is no longer a button to press to remove the GPU. What you have is just a slot and a lock inside the slot to hold down something like this 4080 Super. I did receive comments that it was kind of jerky when you remove the GPU, but I like to assure you that it is not, because I have put in more screws to hold the board down to make it even more secure. So let me just show you. You're going to just install the GPU as per normal. Now that the board is very secure, you can just put it from the side. Yep. So you can see there is no jerking motion on the motherboard. The board is fully secured onto this rack or inside your PC case. Don't worry, the PCI slot is very strong. It's able to handle the 4080 Super. Just make sure to use the GPU brace. It comes with any graphic card, especially these big ones, to hold up the card when you are building your PC. I also like to clarify that you do have the PCI slots and slot screws to hold down the GPU. Sorry for that. Probably didn't mention it quite well in the X870-E videos. I hope this makes it clear for all of you. The PCI slot does a very good job to hold down this 4080 Super. So I'm going to show you again from another angle. Insert the GPU. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to hold the side of the card and put it up. Yeah, one more time. It's so awkward. Yep, there you go. No jerking on the motherboard. Wow, look at how it glows. This is a pretty nice contrast over the white, and I wonder how it will look on the black motherboard. As I don't have the CPU, I can't turn on the motherboard and show you what's inside the new BIOS. So this is pretty much it for an overview. If you like this video, do also watch the other Z90 video that I have done. And comment down below if you are looking forward to Intel's next gen CPUs. So catch you in the next video.